Airtime. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
This is Duck Insider.
We need to get community. We need this thing to be bigger than just our little circle of players and coaches.
Are you kidding me? Touchdown, Oregon.
With 2 seconds on the clock. He hits it!
That's the bigger picture in this thing, allowing the community to celebrate the hard work, blue-collar mentality this group brings to the table.
And the Ducks have won it. The Ducks have won.
We get to struggle together, and we get to have joy together.
The Ducks are Pac-12 champions.
I am so proud right now to be the head coach at Oregon.
Catch made. Touchdown, Oregon.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
We're going to do that. Hawaii coming up, a 5 o'clock, officially a 5:12 kickoff, actually. A 5:12 kickoff coming your way. Oregon, Hawaii. This is going to be fun. I'm Joey Mack, Jerry Allen, Mike Jorgensen, all here with us, previewing the game a little bit. Also, hey, shout out to Oregon Volleyball. What a win! What a win for Duck Volleyball last night. That was tons of fun. A top 10 matchup between Oregon and Pitt. Ducks got the win at Pitt on the road. They're playing James Madison today. Pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean,
Isn't that great?
Top 10 matchup anywhere, but when you're playing at their place, that's a big deal.
And you would expect a top 10 matchup to end up like it did too.
Right.
I mean, you just do when you get two really high quality teams together. That's what you're going to get.
Postseason volleyball. That's what it felt like. Last night, Oregon soccer actually battled back to tie at Boise State. Came back. They faced some adversity. Still trying to figure out their lineup. A lot of young players. I'm hoping that they get off the snide here. They're 0-6-2 now, but they came back and got that tie, which I thought was a big deal. The pre going on this weekend, guys. Professional track and field at Hayward Field.
Seems so late.
Good luck, Parker.
So used to. Oh yeah, really. Yeah. But so used to it being earlier in the season.
Well, that's why I just stay in the studio tonight, and I'll be at Autzen
That's
tomorrow.
right, yeah.
Right? You know?
Yeah.
That's my secret.
It's a big meet.
Yeah.
It's a huge meet.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's a
Professional, Diamond League. So it's going to be a
Best
lot of
of the
fun.
best.
And late in the Diamond League too.
That's right.
Where really, I mean, it means something all the way along, but you get to the end, it's big time.
That's right. So all going on this weekend. So I say that as we look at the game day timeline for Oregon football this weekend. The timeline is going to be, I think, a little bit more intensified because there's so much going on, one. But two, the fact is that this is a big weekend for Oregon football. Students are starting to come back on campus. Parking lots open at 11 a.m. 2 o'clock, the Mashofsky Center opens. The shuttles start to run. 2:50 is your march to victory. 3:15, there's going to be a hula performance in the Mashofsky Center. I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping you get down there, Jerry, to see it.
I can hula.
Can you actually?
I look
you're not
terrible,
even joking?
Terrible doing it, but I can swing the hips. Yeah, oh yeah.
Jorgie,
I don't even want to see that. I just don't.
I was going to let you take it from there. The rest of the game day timeline, though, of
pretty.
course,
I'll just say that.
Our pregame show begins at 3 o'clock, a 5 o'clock kickoff for the Ducks at Autzen Stadium. Yeah, a lot of fun going on. More details, goducks.com for your game day countdown. And I think this is going to be a fun matchup. I think Hawaii's going to offensively test Oregon's defense in a few different ways, guys. I feel like Oregon secondary, that's my first key to the game.
Well, yeah, and the other key to the game for me is that the Ducks need to use this game to be able to run the ball. Let's work on that run.
Wait, I'm sorry. Are you Mike Jorgensen?
Oh, I took that away from you?
More emphasis to that.
Well, I just mentioned it. You get into it. You can turn to me and say, what do you mean run the ball? You got to run. You know where to go, okay? So they got to run the ball. That's what I'm looking for. Hopefully they run the ball. How about you, Jordan?
You're right. Run the ball. But I would say, as you said, in relation to the Hawaii pass game, Joey, get after Shager. Get after Shager, get after Shager. He's been sacked 14 times in 3 games. That's the way you can disrupt the pass game real quick, is being able to put pressure on him, force him into bad throws. He's thrown 5 interceptions so far this year. Get after him, get after him, get after him. You saw the success in doing that with Tyler Shuck. Why not with Shager?
Yeah, I think the pass rush continues to be a real key for Oregon all season long. You know, like a lot of fans have talked too about how, hey, the pass rush got to Tyler Shuck eventually last week. I love that Brandon Dorless talked to us about that on Wednesday night. Like it had been kind of frustrating, going after him, never quite getting there. Then the pressure leads to that interception. I mean, sometimes it can be you build up to that point to get that big moment.
And it's really more important, I think, this year because of the quality of the quarterbacks in the passing game in the Pac-12.
Good point.
Week after week, Oregon's going to see a passing mobile quarterback. So you've got to develop a pass rush and take your guys behind you and take it out of their hands. Don't let quarterbacks pick them apart. Jorgie, I think that's critical all season long.
It is, and particularly against teams that have a drop-back pass game. I mean, I think that's what I look at is you think about all the offenses that they face throughout the Pac-12 season. Guys that do a 1-2-3 get the ball out. Well, it's tough to get to a quarterback when it's like that. But when you get a guy like Shager who does drop back, he'll sit in the pocket. He'll wait for plays to develop. Don't allow it to develop. Just get to him, put pressure on him, make him uncomfortable because it's what you're going to have to do the rest of the league.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
We heard a lot, too, about how Texas Tech deploys receivers in different ways to kind of test you. And I feel like Hawaii with this style of offense, I know you did a lot of digging and background on the run and shoot. Like, this is kind of a fun history lesson in a spread-it-out, go-fast kind of offense.
Yeah, the run and shoot is an old offense developed, I think, back in 1958. Mouse Davis, of course, Portland State is the one that made it famous, and it has gone through several iterations since then. Even now, Jorgie, when you look at the veer or the run option, there's pass option, that's off of the run and shoot. Spread 2 or 3 guys out, 4 guys out, empty backfield. So it's been around, but it's still, and I heard you talk about this, Jorgie, it's a communication between the quarterback and the run and the wide receiver, kind of knowing where to go if there's a space on the field.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of motion. A lot of short passes to move the ball down the field. I mean, that's what's kind of odd about it is even though Hawaii's done a great job this year of stretching the field and hitting some big passes, Vanderbilt being a great example, some deep balls for touchdowns, that type of deal. There's a lot of motion, a lot of short passes, just kind of dink and dump on the way down, hope the defense falls asleep, sneaking in behind. But the receivers and the quarterbacks have to be on the same page. The receivers adjust on the fly. DB decides to cover outside, you chuck up inside. Decides to cover inside, you get outside. But the quarterback and the receiver in that system have to be on the same page. And so, it's one of those ones where communication is big for that offense, but pressure against a quarterback disrupts it that much more.
It's a little bit like the air raid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that
similar concept.
It's kind of a running offense, putting the ball in short passes.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting for me to see the evolution in Oregon's defense. Just, you talk about how there's big improvement from week 1 to week 2. Well, I feel like this year you might see a big improvement from week 2 to week 3 just because of the level of competition. Now, that's no insult to Portland State, but the score was what it was, and so I feel like maybe this is the game where you see that big improvement. Coach Lanning talks a lot about going to the doctor, fixing those kinds of things. I feel like that's kind of what I'm looking for this week. Penalties might be a big part of that.
Yeah, Oregon's focus against Texas Tech was not good early on. I don't know if they let the crowd get to them or where you can point to, but they weren't sharp in that ball game, and there were a lot of different reasons. Have to be sharp in this ball game because it really gets serious after this. And I worry about Hawaii a little bit. Hawaii and Oregon have only played 7 times in the 101 years that they have met, but Hawaii has taken Oregon down a few times, most notably the Rose Bowl year, Jorgie, in 94.
94.
Yeah, they've been tough on Oregon the last couple, 2 or 3 times. Yeah, I wish we could have Chris Miller, former Duck great Chris Miller, here to talk about the run and shoot. It would be so interesting to hear.
You got his
him.
phone number?
Yeah, I do. It'd be so great to be able to have him break it down for us because that's what he operated with the Atlanta Falcons, had all his success and was able to do the things that he did. Was under Jerry Glanville, June Jones, who played at Portland State, who coached Timmy Chang.
And he coached Hawaii,
Yeah, Hawaii. I mean, there's just so many connections in there. So it's the same somewhat offense, I'm sure, that's developed over time.
Kind of exciting.
Yeah, I think it's fun. Well, and look, there's a lot of cultural connections in this matchup, too. It's not just Marcus Mariota. We're sitting on the second floor of the Marcus Mariota Sports Performance Center right now, right? I mean, that's cool. And I was talking to John Veneri. If you missed the interview yesterday, he's the voice of Hawaii. It was an awesome conversation, just an awesome guy. And he was even saying, he has not seen the building and just the impact to him being the voice of Hawaii. talking about St. Louis High School, all the great quarterbacks, including Marcus, that have come from there, like the connections between these two cultures and these two schools, that makes for kind of a fun environment, I think, this week.
Yeah, it's a loving family culture. It's something I wish that I was Polynesian so I could be a part of it. But
oh my gosh.
I was thinking about that today when I was
totally
coming.
forgot about the food.
All right.
Okay.
Context. John Sargent is here, director of Oregon
I
Concessions.
was
Clear a
wondering.
space for the food.
What do you have? Just yell. Well, first of all, red vines for Scott. That's great. John. All right, I've got luau barbecue chips.
Oh my!
Hey, John, come on here. Let me hand out the food. Come here for just a second. Put the headset on.
Put the headset on. That's for you. That's for you. All right, what did you bring, Sarge?
There you go.
We've got the Huli Huli chicken sandwich.
Huli chicken
microphone
sandwich.
up there. There you go.
Huli Huli chicken sandwich tomorrow.
Wow.
I get both these.
Well, I just got to put them not on the keyboard.
Well, one's for Scott. I only brought 3 last week,
he's got
so
the
I
red
got to
vines.
take care of
He's
him.
got the red vines.
Wow. What a guy.
Nerds. We got nerds.
Nerds.
Are you a nerd guy?
He's a huge nerd guy.
Oh, good.
This is interesting.
We're selling those this year.
Last time I had nerds was in Hawaii 20 years ago.
Wow.
Really?
So maybe that means something.
Why is that the last time you've had nerds?
Because I don't know. I just never, was with the kids, and they got them, and so I had some, and
Wow.
crazy.
Okay.
Wow.
Sarge,
M&Ms,
you're the
look at
man.
Well, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at this.
So,
Look at the
Sarge,
M&Ms.
ladies and gentlemen, I
Doesn't get any
have to
better than
also
this.
take you inside Oregon athletics for a second. Sarge has broken not one but 2 of our microphones in his life by yelling "Go Ducks" as loud as he possibly can.
And 2
Don't
ears.
do it.
Two-
Don't. Yeah. It'll.
Not with a headset on.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. So, wow, thanks, Sarge. So this is the special. Tell us about it. This is the special this week?
That is the special in the Gridiron Grills this week. So that is the Huli Huli chicken on a Hawaiian roll with pineapple slaw.
Hawaiian roll, pineapple slaw. Wow.
So
Maui barbecue chips.
Yep.
And
There is more Huli Huli sauce over there if you'd like it.
what?
And then
thanks, Georgie.
and then this year we're also selling the Celsius energy drink is a new product we're doing this year. So
Tropical vibe. I see what you did there, Sarge.
Sure.
I see what you did there.
And I knew that Jerry needs more energy.
I need more food all the time.
Okay.
So I'm good.
Awesome.
I'm good.
Hey,
John, you're the best.
Thanks, Sarge.
Okay.
You are the best.
What else should fans know? Anything for concessions?
I don't think so. I think we're really good. I had a question last week about non-alcoholic beer,
Oh, okay.
and it is available in
great.
all of the cold zone, the Coors Light cold
we
zones.
can have that upstairs.
So,
Good. Yeah, that's right.
so you want that next Friday?
No.
No, probably not.
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh,
Well,
my
maybe.
gosh.
Who knows? I got nothing. Hey, and thanks for answering in the flock talk about the O cookies.
Absolutely. I am working on it.
Yeah.
I talked to the baker, and we are seeing if we can get that to work.
Okay, so has it made it to you yet that we also suggested doing taste testing if it needed to happen live on the show?
That has not made it to me, so
Okay.
I will let you know.
So I'm asking you, if there's going to be
we'll
multiple
volunteer.
options for the O cookies, we are happy to taste test live on
I will
the air.
pay to volunteer.
That's
Okay.
right.
Okay.
So did you try the cookies in Lubbock?
No.
I did not.
Okay, I was wondering how they compare to the O cookie.
They were in, so okay.
They were beautiful.
What John is referring to, shout out to Texas Tech actually, they had a platter of cookies that were like the duck head and Nike shoes is how they were designed.
They looked like shortbread
John,
cookies.
I'm way too low on the totem pole to eat those cookies. That
Okay.
was in the visiting athletic director's suite.
Well, I asked Mike Duncan, and he didn't try it either. So,
So no one ate one?
I don't know.
Did Rob eat one?
I'll have to find out.
All right. Well, all I know is the presentation looked nice.
It sure did.
Ken O'Neill. We'll check with Kenny.
Ken ate one, I bet.
I'll bet he did.
Yeah. He came in and said hi. Yeah.
Good.
So, Sarge, you're the man. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to get a timeout.
So we can eat.
Yeah. We'll come back for keys to the game. Jorgie, I think, I don't know if Jorgie's going to make picks today or not. We're also going to make Pac-12 picks. Okay, I also have to admit, I got a question about if I made polls for, I forgot to do that. I forgot to make fan polls for the games for fans to
That's
pick.
something for the future.
Yeah, my bad. We're going to make picks after Jorgie eats lunch on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We're back on We're back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Scott was kind enough to go grab some napkins. Jerry went all in on that. I took
one bite.
Okay, no, it's gone. This is empty. There's nothing left. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Where were we?
In any case,
napkins.
So we were going to make Pac-12 picks.
Yes.
Our Pac-12 picks are always brought to you by Sylvan Ridge Winery. And I still am having a hard time realizing that now I have to remember that Sarge is probably going to do this every Friday. Every Friday before a home game. So the reason that this all came about, I should give some context, is that the concessions group is actually doing specials for each game now. So, right, this one, the Hawaiian-inspired special. And so that's why we're having specials. And that's why you guys get to taste test the specials. Yeah. So
that just sounds good. A little
it just
taste.
might end up happening. All the time.
What was the slaw called?
Pineapple.
Pineapple.
Yeah, pineapple slaw.
Put a little huli sauce on it.
That is so good.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Really good. I got M&Ms though in Mike and Ike's, so thanks for that, Sarge.
Oh.
Yeah, that was great. Okay, so in all seriousness, War Duck in the YouTube comments asked about doing a poll. Yeah, it was on the agenda. I forgot to set up a poll so that fans could do some voting with us for games. So here's my challenge to the chat. Just go ahead and put all your picks in the chat. We'll get an idea of what everyone's thinking. And to be honest with you, this week kind of stinks.
Yeah. No.
I don't know. I think all of us might actually make all of the same picks again this week. I've got like 2 games that I'm thinking you guys might pick different than me, but otherwise I think we're all going to be really boring again.
Yeah. Not a good week, even across the nation.
Yeah, across the nation, you're right.
Across the nation, there aren't a lot of big-time matchups. But that being said, it begins at 11 a.m. on Pac-12 Network. Weber State 2-0. Visits 12th-ranked Utah, also 2-0. Based on the results last week, since we all made the same picks, the only one that all of us missed was Cal. I've got a 1-game lead. Jerry and Georgie have 18 correct picks. I've got 19. The coin has picked 11 games correct.
Ooh,
and you're going with this coin this time, right?
Going with the duck coin.
All right, duck coin it is. Weber State, Utah. I'm going Utah. Georgie?
Yeah, going Utah.
I ain't picking the barbecues. I'll go Utah as well.
Boy, this is going to be the fastest pick segment we've ever done.
Oh, the coin.
The coin.
Coin's going to take the
Weber
longest
State's
time.
been pretty good on an FCS level. but
right.
they may not score in this game, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Let's go Heads.
Heads,
The
home
Duck.
team.
Yeah.
That's
Boy, how about you think about it? How about with Utah and Oregon being in the state of Texas last week, and the way that not only Baylor lost, but Texas Tech lost, where they were in control, had a chance to be able to win those games, ended up on the losing end both, and both are 0-2.
Yeah, interesting. 12:30 on Fox Sports 1. San Diego State 2-1, but number 16 Oregon State 2-0. That new look Research Stadium, I got to admit, pictures that I saw, it looks nice. Oregon State's a 25-point favorite, over under a 48. Going to be a low-scoring game that Oregon State is likely to win big. I've got the Beavers.
Yeah, I just think Oregon State's going to throttle them. Absolutely throttle them. And I guess what I mean by that is not necessarily going up and down the field and scoring 60 points. They might, who knows? But they're going to control the ball. They're going to beat the crap out of them. and at the end of the day, it's probably going to end up 38-3, which is the under.
But hasn't that been Oregon State, like under Jonathan Smith? They're not going to win 60-30.
They're very efficient in everything that they do. They're not in a hurry.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it methodical. They just do the Oregon State thing, very blue-collar-ish, and it'll probably end up a 38-3 game.
Yeah, one thing that I should have mentioned too, like someone just asked in the comment section, like, is Utah, who's going to play quarterback for Utah? First of all, I don't think it matters. But second of all, if Cam Rising does make a comeback, what could that do for a 12th ranked Utah team right now? I mean, it could be interesting here down the stretch.
No doubt.
Yeah, it could be interesting here down the stretch. You got the Beavs too?
Oh, yeah, Beavs. Nothing to add to that. And coin.
That counts.
Okay. It tails.
Tails. San Diego
Because if
State.
somehow they end up losing to San Diego State,
You'll never pick them again.
I'll never pick them again.
Yeah, you'll never pick them again.
Where have I heard that?
I don't know. 1 o'clock, Pac-12 Network, Idaho, the Vandals at 2-0. They laid it on to Nevada last week. At Cal, 1-1. I got to tell everybody, so Knight's directing the show today, OSN broadcast intern extraordinaire, voice of the Oregon volleyball team. Knight's telling me Idaho's going to win this game. Knight is convinced that I should pick Idaho here.
Wow.
Thoughts?
Idaho?
Tell me what you're going to do, Joey.
This is
Jordan,
not.
you think Idaho's probably
Go
going
out
to
on a
win
limb.
this, don't you? Yeah.
Go out on a limb.
This is not the
if
one.
there's any game, I mean, you can defer.
No, I've got another game I'm deferring.
Okay.
I already picked the one I'm going to defer. I mean, look, Nevada's not good. I hope that Nevada turns it around. I think that Coach Ken Wilson is an awesome guy, of course, with the Oregon connection. I'm rooting for Nevada to turn it around, but
they got Kansas coming to town this week.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to turn it around.
They're not going to turn it around this week, but eventually the Royal turn it around, you know.
Yeah, I mean, against New Mexico or somebody like that, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah. Right.
But the point is that Nevada is not very good.
Yeah.
Idaho, though, Knight, I got to give him credit. Knight's all over this one. This is Knight's like upset pick of the week. Idaho can score. I think that Cal, though, even after a disappointing loss where their offense, I think they would tell you the offense did not operate down the stretch as well as they would like. Cal is still very good on defense. I think it's a different level of football for Idaho. I think Cal does win this game.
I think it ends up a very close game, though. But
Ooh.
I do. Idaho is legitimately good, and right now I don't think we know who Cal is. I mean, they beat the heck out of North Texas, who I picked. And you know, last week Cal loses a close one at home to an Auburn team that I don't think is very good. They do play really, really good defense. Better athletes on defense than Idaho's offense can put points on the board. Man, I'll tell you, I'm thinking about it.
Oh, what? Knight might have talked him into it.
If Joey had picked Idaho, I would have, but I'm taking Cal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
I just can't fall behind.
You guys
any
crazy?
More than one.
It's a Pac-12.
Uh-huh.
If the game was in the Kibbe Dome, I might say, okay, yeah, maybe.
What a palace, also, the Kibbe Dome.
I know. Such a great place.
I love that. But Cal, come on, it's a Pac-12.
I know the Pac-12's been good this year.
Yeah.
For the first time in the conference's history, there's 8 Pac-12 teams in the top 25 this week. Believe me.
Cal should not lose to Idaho.
I know
Cal
they should
also
not.
shouldn't have lost to Auburn.
Auburn's not Idaho.
Okay.
But
I agree with you. I'm picking Cal.
But I'll bet you Idaho would give Auburn a really good game.
They're not playing Auburn. They're playing Cal.
That's not my point.
What was the question?
What were we talking about?
It's the coin.
Who's Idaho playing?
Auburn, right? It's tails. Cow. No, Idaho. The coin picked Idaho.
Idaho.
Whoa.
Coin takes Idaho.
Whoa.
Who did you pick?
Oh,
Well,
that's right.
I don't know why you're
he
flipping
kind of
the coin.
snuck that by,
No,
didn't he?
I did not.
I don't know
sneak it
why
by.
you're
I told you
flipping the
that.
coin.
I said, Cal. There's no way Idaho's winning
Okay.
this game. All right.
He did. He
Yes.
did
All
say
right.
that.
So Idaho, though, for
The coin.
Watch out for the Vandals.
Okay.
Just watch out.
2 o'clock, guys. I think this is going to ruffle some feathers across Michigan State's fan base, as it did Michigan's fan base. Exclusively on Peacock this weekend. 2 o'clock, number 8 Washington at 2-0 visits 2-0 Michigan State. Now, of course, this is one of those games where I feel like for Michigan State it goes one of two ways. It's either there's a lot of outside noise, they don't play very well, Washington takes it to them, or maybe this is a game where a talented team in Michigan State rallies, they get a huge win. Everyone's saying that they're going to lose this game. Washington comes in there, loses in a big way. I wouldn't be upset about it, but I'm going to pick Washington.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I don't think it's too bad what is happening at Michigan State is happening.
Yeah,
It's just
no
really disappointing. I still feel Washington would have throttled them anyway.
Yeah.
And so I'm taking the Huskies big in this game, and I would have taken them big if this wasn't going on.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think they're that much better?
I do. Yep.
I'm just looking at the weather because it's going to be stormy, I think, in East Lansing. And the weather's going to change a passing game. Okay? Not enough.
Michael Penix still won a ton of games at Indiana.
Not
I
enough.
keep coming back to that.
Yeah, Washington's too good of a football team. Washington.
Washington.
Yeah. But the weather's going to be interesting.
Coin.
Could be snowing. Tails. Going with the Huskies.
All right, we're going to get a timeout. It's our picks brought to you by Sylvan Ridge Winery. Are you going to eat more of your sandwich, actually? I feel like during the break you're going to destroy this thing.
That sandwich is just fine sitting right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like a dog protecting his food.
He is, isn't he?
Get away from my sandwich.
I don't want to go anywhere near you right now.
Okay. All right.
Timeout. More of our picks. It's Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
It might snow.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with the Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with the Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
We're back in the Country Financial Studio. Thanks, Sarge is right. Given the entire studio crew here lunch, Scott writing on the whiteboard hand. I don't know what Scott's doing here today.
He knew there was going to be food.
He's not directing
He
the show.
knew there was going to be food.
You know, Knight and Caden are running shop here. We're here. Scott's just moral support today.
Wow, surprise! There was a sandwich
and
for
licorice.
Scott.
Yeah,
licorice. Yeah,
and he's eating the red vines. That's good. Good of you. That's good of you. Yeah, Scott's done his part today. Stuck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. It's our Pac-12 picks, always brought to you by Sylvan Ridge Winery, representing the very best of the South Willamette Valley. Continuing with our picks, I did get a question that I wanted to answer from Alex. Taking his parents to the game, have an ADA pass, never parked in that area as there are a lot of spots. A lot is relative. I would say there's, 20, 30 ADA spots. They're in the east lot right off Leo Harris. So if you turn in going toward Pape Field, they'd be right there on your left. As you turn into the parking lot, the east lot, headed toward Pape Field, all the ADA spots are right on your left. Is that about 30 spots, I would say?
Yeah, I think that's
about right.
I think it's a good guess.
Yeah.
So
there are quite a few.
You'll turn into the right.
Yeah, so a lot is relative, but in any case.
Yeah, hopefully this weekend might be a little bit easier to access than it would be next weekend.
And don't have to get here really early, but don't wait to come late. So.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think with a 5:00 game with the pre going on, I imagine there's going to be a lot of people that come over from the other side of the river.
What a day!
Yeah, big day.
Wow.
A lot going on.
Especially if you were a fan and went to both.
Right.
I mean, what a sports fan's day to see all that.
Right. No doubt. No kidding. 2:00. Pac-12 Network, 0-2 Northern Colorado against number 23 Washington State. I still think this is a Washington State team that's on a mission. I think they're going to win a lot of games just with that mentality. I've got Washington State big.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it. I just think their confidence continues to build. I mean, after they've beat Wisconsin in back-to-back years, which is really cool to see. I mean, that's just great. Yes. And to do it and play solid football at home before a sellout crowd there in Pullman, and then in 2 weeks when Oregon State, or a week basically when Oregon State comes to town, I mean, man, it's going to be 2 top 25, 2 top 20 teams. Yeah, I'm taking the Cougs.
Northern Colorado against another Pac-12 school, a mismatch in conferences. Washington State's good at home. Washington State is a tough team to beat at home. They're like Oregon at Autzen, Texas Tech and Lubbock. So I'm going to Washington State. I think they're a good ball club this year. Everybody in the Pac-12 is good this year.
I think Washington State is really solid. I do. I think that there's a lot of teams in the Pac-12. They're just really good. They do a lot of things well. And to be honest with you, I was looking at some of like the top 25 statistics, and Oregon's actually a bit of an outlier in that the penalties really hurt the Ducks last week. For the most part, Pac-12 teams this year have been pretty good penalty-wise, too. Yeah. I just think Pac-12's full of teams that aren't going to beat themselves this year.
Well, one more thing about Washington State. They are so undervalued from a defensive standpoint.
Agreed.
The offense gets all the attention all the time, always has over the years. The defense gets forgotten. It's really good.
And Coach Dickert's that way.
Yep.
Right.
In the conference, home teams are going to have a heyday this year. Traveling is not going to be fun. Yeah, I think the home, because I think so many teams are so close together. I mean, from 1 through 8, 9, 10, that the home field is going to be a huge advantage this year, I think. All right, coin, is tails.
Northern Colorado.
Is this a Pac-12 coin? Duck? What is this?
Not a very smart one.
Not a very smart one.
There's a lot of 2:00 games in the Pac-12 this weekend, the last of which is North Carolina Central, 2-0, a team that I know nothing about, visiting number 24 UCLA.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bruins. They're going to get just slowly but surely better each week, and they're better than who?
There you go.
North Carolina Central.
Another conference mismatch. Yeah. No, UCLA.
There's a lot of them this week.
Yeah, there are.
It's just worked out that way.
All right. Let's go home team, UCLA.
Yeah. That's the right pick from the coin.
Yeah.
That's just the right pick. Okay, then the Troy Taylor Bowl. Sacramento State, his former team, 2-0, visit Stanford at 1-1. Stanford, I think, gets the win in this game. I think Sacramento State makes it close, though. I think that's just a solid program now. Troy Taylor has a reputation of turning around programs like that. He did it at Sacramento State. You look at the stats for Sacramento State, I think that they do keep it close to a Stanford team that's honestly going through a rebuild. But step up in talent level, I think Stanford gets the win, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's close.
It feels like Idaho Cal to me.
Really?
Is what it does.
Similar?
Yeah. It just feels like that type of game where Sac State, I think, is good enough to scare the heck out of Stanford. They've been really good under Troy Taylor these last 2 or 3, 4 years, especially on offense.
Right.
So I think their offense can keep them in the game against Stanford. But overall, again, I just think Stanford has enough players on defense, enough players overall to be able to get the win at home and move to 2-1. I mean, it's tough to tell who Stanford is right now. I mean, you play USC, you kind of expect it to happen. You go to Hawaii, you beat up on Hawaii. So does this week really tell you anything? No, other than the fact I think they're going to struggle with Sac State, but I'm taking Stanford.
I think that the offense with Sac State, the comp to USC, right? Like teams that can score points, I think that they could have a hard time with. But, then I look at what Hawaii does offensively. This is where the transitive property of college football just doesn't work, right?
I just think that Troy Taylor did not leave the cupboard bare. I think that Sac State is probably a better football team than everybody's thinking because you're looking at the Pac-12 and Stanford, but they got beat up pretty good by USC, and I know USC's good, but I'm gonna pick Sac State.
Yes!
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know Stanford yet. The Hawaii win was impressive. Not
if
really.
You're right. God bless you.
Yeah, it's early enough in the season I can take a hit and still come back. Okay?
And if you're wrong, I really appreciate what you just did. Okay? Just want to let you know that.
Hey, you got to take a shot, right?
You do. I think that was a good one.
You took a shot for North Texas. Didn't
work
out.
I should have taken Idaho.
You took a shot for San Jose State. That didn't work out.
No.
Yeah. Idaho.
What did I just do?
Are you going to regret not taking Idaho?
We'll see. We'll see.
Hey, we get to watch that game before ours, so we can all be going crazy in the press box.
Tails. Yes! The coin and I are right there together.
Sac State. All right, we're going to get a timeout. It's our Sylvan Ridge Winery picks, Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. We're back having no fun, sir. None whatsoever
Maybe
at all.
Maybe next week.
In the Country Financial Studio on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
M&M's here.
I like
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with a Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with a Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Don't go anywhere. Duck Insider continues after these messages on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio, joined by Jerry Allen, Mike Jorgensen. Another segment of picks. Our Sylvan Ridge Winery. I can't ever get that one. Sylvan Ridge Winery picks.
It's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. You do it. You do it.
No, I would do it if I had a glass of wine, to relax a little bit. But
proud to be Eugene, Oregon's first bonded winery, Sylvan Ridge Winery. So you need non-alcoholic beer in the press box?
No, okay. Alcoholic.
Oh.
That's right.
No, we don't have any of
We
that
have
stuff
nothing.
upstairs.
No, we don't.
No, we
Level 5 is a little different than level 3, level 2, level 4, level 1 in the elevators. There's no doubt about it. All right, we continue with our picks. So far, Jerry with the one outlier going with Sac State.
Showing some guts.
Good luck being 2 down.
Or no brains. Oh, come on.
Might be a good pick.
Who knows?
Might be a good pick. You might
Could
just
be.
be tied for the lead when this is all said.
Look,
and
here's all I'll say. Sacramento State and Stanford at 5 o'clock, same time as Oregon and Hawaii. So we'll have something to keep track of during the game on that Safeway scoreboard. So Georgie will be watching
If you
it.
hear me crying, you'll know why.
That's right. 7 o'clock on ESPN as we continue with our Sylvan Ridge Winery picks. Colorado State, well, Jay Norvell sure gave the Buffs some bulletin board material this week. Head coach for Colorado State. The number 18 ranked Buffs at 2-0 before they start Pac-12 play at Autzen Stadium next week against the Ducks. I think Colorado wins this game. I think they're more talented than Colorado State, and yeah.
What did Norvell say? I missed it.
He said,
I'm not even going to comment about it. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
I'll read it after when we go to the next
break. It was, inflammatory. It's bulletin board material.
Colorado needed more motivation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I got Colorado. I think look, I'm impressed with what Colorado's done. I think that offensively in particular, they're explosive, going to score some points.
Well, after what Washington State did to Colorado State last week.
Yeah.
And then Colorado State goes on the road to Boulder. Or did they play at a neutral site still? They used to play that neutral site.
It's at Folsom Field in Boulder.
It is, okay. Yeah, well,
72 degrees at kickoff.
It doesn't matter.
Could
it's
snow.
Colorado. I know.
I'm always going to say that.
It's got this same weather system that stretches from Michigan down to Mexico.
Shedeur Sanders is the real deal. I mean, the kid's good. And he's got a team around him, and it's a mismatch. And it's at Colorado. And, with a little bulletin board material, this adds a little more, vinegar to it. And Colorado easily in this game. Coin is going to pick Colorado State. What I tell you?
The coin did pick Colorado State.
You just got no brains.
Next up, Fresno State.
You're right. When I really thought about that, you're right.
Although we both did pick the same game a moment ago. But
that's right.
That's beside.
Look,
move along. There's nothing to see
I didn't mean to interrupt
Move
you
along.
there.
There's nothing to see.
Sometimes I think it's good that I get interrupted. 7:30 on Fox Sports 1. 2-0 Fresno State visits 1-1 Arizona State. It's in Tempe. Arizona State, I don't know what they are yet. I'm deferring.
I don't think they know what they are yet, and I think Fresno State does know who they are. And I'm taking the Bulldogs go on the road at Arizona State and Tempe to get the victory.
Yeah.
You?
Nah, good try.
Maybe okay.
He didn't even flinch.
No,
on that one,
he didn't. No, he was ready for it. I'm going to go along with you too. I think Fresno State is probably the better team here. If Arizona State had gotten it together and played some pretty good football, I'd say no, they've got it. They're at home. But Fresno State, hey, you're right, Jorgie. They got it together. They're going to win it. Right? Your turn.
So
okay, I got to get the coin first.
Well, yeah,
I almost fooled him into it. Okay.
We got
home team.
Yeah, Arizona State. So it's interesting. Fresno State, I think that Fresno State is just a really consistently good program. We saw, of course, what Kalen DeBoer was able to do. You've seen what Jeff Tedford's been able to do at Fresno State. The win at Purdue was 39-35, and that was a really exciting game to watch. Last week, Eastern Washington, really good program. Traditionally, scores a lot of points. They won 34-31, and it took double overtime to get that done. I don't know that Fresno State is as good early in the season as I thought they would be. So I really struggled with this game, actually. I think that Arizona State could surprise some people and win this game. The smart pick is Fresno State, I think, because of the history. The back-the-pack pick is Arizona State because Arizona State may very well figure something out this week against a Fresno State team that's given up a lot of points, and that's what I think. I'm surprised, guys. The odds makers have the over-under in this game at 49 points. That surprised me because I feel like Fresno State has given up points. Arizona State is going to score and probably give up some points. I thought that was surprising to me, which tells me that the odds makers feel like maybe Fresno State has figured it out. I don't know if they have or not, but because these two guys both picked Fresno State, I'm picking Fresno State.
I knew when this whole thing started you were going to take Fresno State based on what we said.
That's great background info that you gave, though. I appreciate you doing some research on that game.
That was the one I struggled with.
Yeah.
I think that Kenny Dillingham is going to get it going at ASU. I think we've seen the energy, right, firsthand.
It'll take time, though.
It will take time. I think offensively they're going to score a lot of points. I think Fresno State has consistently just been a really good program at that level. But it surprised me that Fresno State had been giving up as many points as they had early in the season. It's not like Purdue is a high-powered offense, right? So I struggled with it a little bit. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if Arizona State figures it out and wins a shootout, because Eastern Washington almost won a shootout. You got to think Arizona State's got the talent that Eastern Washington does on offense, right?
That's a good point.
Yeah. I just think that oftentimes Fresno State plays to the level of the competition.
You think so?
Yeah, and not that Eastern Washington's a bad team, but I don't think you go in as a Pac-12 team playing Eastern Washington thinking they can hang with you. And when you get into that mindset, you can really struggle. And
yeah.
I think they'll play, again, at a really high level when you play a Pac-12 team.
Yeah. So I told myself I would defer on that one, and then depending on how it went, I'd make a decision. So made a decision.
Right.
I will get to stay, it looks like, at least in first place.
In the lead. Maybe. At
Yeah,
least tied.
At the very least a tie.
Could be tied.
Yeah. It would be nice, actually, if you get that one, because then I get to pick second.
I would accept that.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Yeah, I'd feel good about that.
It'd be nice. We do have one more game to pick. 8 o'clock on Pac-12 Network. UTEP 1-2 visits Arizona 1-1. I got the Wildcats.
Yep, Wildcats here.
Wildcats easily.
Were you guys disappointed in Arizona showing against Mississippi State?
Was I disappointed from a standpoint that they lost? I mean, I took Mississippi State. I thought Mississippi State was going to be in by a couple scores, and really Arizona had a chance to win that game.
Yeah,
so
I thought it was closer. That's my point. I thought it was closer than I thought it would be. So maybe Arizona State. I think that Jaden Delora can win games for you.
Yeah, just depends on which Delora shows up, which quarter even. So
UTEP Arizona coin.
Heads.
Home team, Arizona. Okay, our Sylvan Ridge Winery picks. Everybody is taking Utah, Oregon State, Cal, Washington, UCLA, Washington State, Colorado, Fresno State, and Arizona. Jerry's taking Sac State to get the upset against Stanford. Good luck.
Thank you.
You're going
I
with,
feel good about it. I feel good about it.
You're going with this year. You've gone and you've backed the lower programs, the lower level programs in California. Yeah. We'll see how it pays off for you.
Yeah, I'll be tuned into that game. I'm looking forward to it.
I'll watch. No doubt about it. I did want to ask you guys, and I kind of thought about this with this not being the greatest slate of games. Thoughts on the Pac-12 though? 8 teams in the top 25 for the first time in the conference's history, guys. I think I've said this on Duck Insider in the past. Like I think that there's some poetry really to the Pac-12 being really good this year. But I think the Pac-12 is really good this year.
Well, if this were any other year, like the SEC had 8 teams at the top, they'd be screaming to get 2 automatics in the playoffs. I mean, it'd be like –
good point.
So the Pac-12 is in that position. I think the Pac-12 is good enough this year that they're going to have 2 teams that really have a great shot of being in that college football playoff. I mean, but the home field advantage is going to be huge. Who knocks who off at a critical time, Jordan?
Oh, yeah. I mean, 8 teams solidly in the top 25. But the thing that worries me most is when you get that many good quality teams, you end up with maybe 2 teams like you were talking about, Jerry, with an opportunity to get into the playoff, but 2 teams with 2 losses. And so it's whoever wins that game goes, and you lose a team because everybody cannibalizes themselves. And so it's just – I love it, though. I love the way that this league is playing. The football that we and all the fans of all these schools in the Pac-12 conference are going to get to see this year is a real treat. It's just too bad the real treat is one last year, and that's it. That's it. So
yeah, I agree. I think we knew the quarterback play was going to be really good this year. I've been impressed, though. I think maybe my biggest takeaway from the first 2 weeks has been that the defense in the Pac-12 has been pretty darn good. You touched on that with Washington State. I feel like the Pac-12 always has had the reputation, at least nationally, of this is where you can score some points, right? It's the high-powered offenses, but the defenses, I think, have been a difference maker this year.
Yeah, I said going into this season with the quality of the conference and how many great quarterbacks and really good teams there are, the teams that had the best defense, not offense, defense, would have the best chance to win.
You did say that.
And I still believe that, Jorgie.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I think there's 2 or 3 teams that have really high-level defenses, and those are the ones I think are going to maybe survive at the end of the year. Yeah. And we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, you can count the losses for the Pac-12 on one hand right now, and we're heading into week 3.
But I do think there's a couple of 2 or 3 defenses in this league that are headed towards that upper 2 or 3. I mean, just each and every week getting better and better and better, and can't wait to see how it plays out. It's going to be a lot of fun this year.
Now I have to ask him, who are the 2 and 3?
I'm not going to talk about it.
Okay. That's a tease.
If he's not thinking Utah is one of those, it'd be a shock.
Top 2 or 3?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Utah, you can't argue against them because traditionally that's what they've been. Yeah. I think Oregon State has one, too. That's, again, the 2 teams that were the best defensive teams, I think, overall last year in the league still are.
Yeah. A lot of guys back. A lot of returning players. I think the Pac-12 is going to be really good. Those are your Sylvan Ridge Winery picks. When we come back, final keys to the game, wrapping up a Friday show. Guys, I feel like we didn't really need any headache medicine today.
No, we got
we
food.
Did pretty good.
We got chocolate. What? We don't need head, man. Come on.
Yeah, no headaches.
No.
Good. Cardinal.
It's a happy group.
See how that's going to go. Yeah. Back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dang it.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
Duck Insider, your home for the latest news on Oregon athletics on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack, Jerry Allen, Mike Jorgensen here in the Country Financial Studio. Final segment on a Friday. Oregon volleyball, big win last night. They're in action this afternoon, also in action on Sunday. Duck soccer, just the one game this week. The pre going on this weekend. And, of course, Duck football, 5 o'clock kickoff. One more time, your game day timeline. You got a lot of options this weekend, and tailgating is one of them, which is always exciting. The game day always begins with a good tailgate. 11 a.m., the parking lot's open. 2 o'clock, Mashofsky Center opens, and the shuttles begin to run across the Eugene-Springfield area. 2:50, the March to Victory that'll go through the Mo. 3:15, the Mashofsky Center will feature a hula performance, the first of 2, actually. 3:30, the Seating Bowl at Autzen Stadium opens. 4 o'clock, the Oregon Cheer leading team performs in the Mashofsky Center. And then at 4:15, the second hula performance in the Mashofsky Center before a 5 o'clock kickoff. It's officially a 5:12 kickoff. Our pregame show begins at 3 o'clock across the Oregon Sports Network. I had an awesome conversation, guys, with Tony Tuioti yesterday. Hawaii connections. Awesome stuff. He's one of only 2 players in Hawaii's program's history that has won a conference championship as a player and as a coach. Pretty cool to see that. Alik Terry, Oregon's offensive line coach, he coached at Hawaii. There's just so many connections with the staff. And then also some awesome student-athlete conversations that you'll hear coming up as well. I had a really, really fun time actually around practice this week, guys. I feel like the buzz when you're at home, it's just different. You know, it's like it's a business trip when you go on the road, but when you're at home, I think it's just a lot of fun.
Oh, it's relaxing just knowing you don't have to jump on an airplane and a bus and sleep in a hotel and play a late game and then come back late and have basically a short week. But also the buzz this week with so many Polynesian players on the team, and I know they're thinking about it and they're looking forward to it. And for us, just watching practice, you see those guys and you just kind of tell this is a different game. This is more of a special game. They're playing sort of against family in a game like this, Jorgie.
It's a big deal when that connection is so strong.
Oh, it's family.
You know, I mean, it's not just a football game that they want to win and playing a home game at Ossett Stadium, but the connection, not just the Polynesian connection, but the coaching connections, where they've been, how they've done things. Obviously, you know, there is a big deal from the standpoint of the Polynesian side of it, no doubt about it. But the connections are just so strong. And then after, you know, the unfortunate situation that happened with Lahaina and everything else that goes with it, everybody is even that much tighter now. And so I think there's just a lot of things to look forward to, let alone an Oregon Duck football team that's at home. They love playing at home, and it's just the build-up to having students come back and a fuller stadium each week.
Great weather.
Can't wait. Yep.
More and more students back this week before students are really back next week for the Pac-12 opener. You know, and on that note, actually, so Tez Johnson, one of the student-athletes, talking on the pregame show to give you a peek ahead to the pregame show tomorrow, Tez was talking with Ryan Milano about it hit him that he was at Oregon when he came out of the tunnel and he heard the Harley.
Oh, I bet.
Like he said, that was the moment it hit me when he heard the Harley in the tunnel, and it was like, whoa, I'm at Oregon. You know, I thought that was pretty cool. So you hear that coming up. And then Bryce Betcher. Talk about a guy who's gotten a lot better on defense, guys.
Oh.
Bryce Betcher's been hitting some people.
He's a wild card to me. I mean, in a good way.
Yeah.
He's a wild card. But you just, right now, he's such a good athlete. Such a big, good athlete. That's the thing about it. I mean, he's a DB now, transferred into a linebacker or put in a linebacker position. You can bring him off the edge. He can play in the middle. He can cover. He's just like a kamikaze out there the way he runs around, and yet makes really good, solid, fundamental plays to go along with just the effort plays that put him in the right spot where he's forced a fumble. He's recovered a fumble in 2 games. He's a playmaker.
Yeah.
We can see it in the spring, too. We can see him beginning to emerge in the spring.
When he moved up, too, I mean, so I talked to him about that, and one of the things that he said is that it took a while for his body to get used to the linebacker weight. So now he's kind of gotten used to that. So anyway, that's coming up on the pregame show. I'll tell you, I think that this is a game where Oregon can get better. For me, it comes down to penalties. The coaches talk about execution all the time, but I think it really is going to come down to penalties. Got to get better in the penalty category. Don't beat yourself. If you don't beat yourself, you're at home. I think all of us are going to like the results.
Get the focus back, clean your game up.
Yep, absolutely.
I like it. He's Mike Jorgensen. He's Jerry Allen. 3 o'clock, the pregame show. Thanks to John Sargent for feeding the crew today. Knight and Caden running the show. Scott was here for some reason. We'll talk to you for a 3 o'clock pregame show. Jerry's got a sugar high. See ya.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks